Alright, all praises and glory goes to Yahweh by Shemi Avishai by Shemi Kwagwadash. Double and honor to the elders at GMS who's pushing this truth with all truth and sincerity. Shalom. And, you know, Akim, man, we're here, any day now they can cause a massive outage or all hell can break loose, man, to where the prophets wouldn't be out on the streets anymore, prophesying, to where once that happened, man, once things get too chaotic to go out on the highways and byways anymore, and the decree is declared by the elders, man, that could very well be when all hell breaks loose, man, but as we get closer and closer to the end, man, we see that Trump is just going on a rampage, and these heathen nations are turning their backs on America, man. As prophecy, and stated that these nations will turn their back. Even the allied nations, man. And I'm gonna just show some videos and then get a few scriptures.
And then when a country attacks another sovereign nation and then kidnaps the president and the president's wife of that nation and now claims they're going to run that nation, that literally goes against one, Congress, and two, the United Nations. See, when things like this happen, we're supposed to tell our allies that we're going to do it, and then we vote on it. The UN right now is saying the United States should have no vote in any matter whatsoever anymore until Donald Trump gets his shit together or otherwise. Not only that, when a country attacks another sovereign nation, any matter whatsoever anymore until Donald Trump gets his shit together or otherwise. Not only that, but because China, Iran, and Russia are three of Venezuela's biggest importers of their oil, they're now going to be running dry, therefore being pulled into direct conflict with the United States military, aka a war. So, not only was this illegal, immoral, and unethical, but it's going to completely turn our own allies against us, which we see that happening in real time, and have our biggest enemies now pushing forward towards us. This is literally going to be World War fucking III because some billionaire oligarch that half the country voted into office decides to be a dictator. Prove me wrong. So just in case, when a country attacks another sovereign nation,
and this what Thanos would say, man, it's inevitable, man. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. This goes to show you Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai's words are true and are faithful, man. If he says something is gonna happen, it's going to happen, man. Like how he told us that we was gonna serve under our enemies, man. And look at where we're at right now. Look at our people, man. For their destroyed for the lack of knowledge, man. And look where we're at. We're up here in the north, man. Serving captivity, man. But soon Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is about to do away with this, and a new chapter of life is gonna begin, man. Especially for the Israelite man that has been belittled, in this society, man. Every which way possible, even by our own women who swear she's not in captivity, man. But does everything that the white man tells her to, man. But Russia and China are invested in Venezuela with the oil, so that's where they get most of their oil, man. They make profit from Venezuela, so that kind of puts them in a it puts them in a conflict to where it's talked about, man. It puts them into a direct conflict with America. It's inevitable for them not to bump heads, man. And these damn devils, they're prideful. I'm pretty sure Trump knows that, knows the that he's pushing the agenda, but he also knows that, and I'm pretty sure he feels it, that this is the end of their kingdom, man. But these heathen, these Edomites that's not in the knowing, man. They think that Trump is just going on a conquering rampage, but ultimately is to fulfill the new world order, man. Trump has to fulfill a agenda. But if you look at these comments in these TikTok videos that I show you, man, it's a whole bunch of prideful Edomites, man. Saying that how America can't be stopped, and how we can take even Putin as a captive, man. And so forth and so forth. It never gets old with these Edomites being prideful, man. But they're greatly about to be hushed up, man. They're about to be put in their place. Soon come, man. And it gets old with these Edomites, man, because it's like they don't have a bone of humility in their body, man. This is why Jake is always always comforting the loser, in UFC fights, man. While you'll see a Edomite, a Jake will be going up against an Edomite, and the Edomite, he'll lose to the Jake, and then he'll be salty about it, not trying to shake his hand, and whatnot. It just goes to show you, man, these people, they can't be humble, man. They cannot be humble, man. They got a prideful bone in their body, which it's all gonna come to straw. It's all gonna come to nothing when they're put in chains and put in captivity, and they're seeing their families, and seeing them with chains on their feet and shackles, and the Israelite man, the black man that the world has belittled, hovering above them, man. Flying in the sky, man, with a chariot, man. Hovering over them, man. They're not gonna realize until that day comes, man. Until they're not gonna realize that their kingdom has fallen until it actually falls, man. To blackouts, man. To calamities, to marauders breaking into your house for food, to people not having enough food. People being killed, bodies being left in the street, man. It's gonna get chaotic, man. There's a lot of people here in America, that's prideful, man. Even these heathen nations, you'll look at them and they'll look down on you, but it's like, nigga, you're nothing but spittle, man. These heathen nations look down on us, Jake, and really they're nothing but spittle, man. They're nothing but a good lapdog for the white man, for Edomites, man. Especially these ones that have it set in this society, man. The ones that has bringing in six figures. These heathens, man. Moab. I'll say Moab. What's the Indians, man. They'll just look down on people, man, on Jake, because we're low in this world, man. We've been belittled in this society, man. But they'll look down on us. They'll think like we're not men, But it's all gonna come to end when they see Yahweh Shai, a so-called black man, pull up in the fathership, in the battleship. It's all gonna come. It's all gonna regulate when they see that, man. Because Yahweh Shai, he's not gonna play, man. He's gonna get straight down to business, man. Even the elites, man, they're gonna be in fear, man. They're gonna be in fear, man. Because the chariots gonna be destroying. The chariots is gonna be zapping people, man. It's gonna be a nightmare, man. For some of these people out here, man. But moving on.
Nobody has our weapons. The United States proved once again that we have the most powerful, most lethal, most sophisticated, and most fearsome. It's a fearsome military on planet Earth, and it's not even close. I've been saying it for a long time. Nobody can take us. Nobody. We don't want to have it. We don't have a discussion, but you read all and you see everything else. Nobody could have done that. Nobody has our weapons. Nobody has the quality of our weapons. The problem is we don't produce them fast enough. We're going to start producing them much faster. We're going to be very tough on the companies. We have the best weapons in the world, but it takes too long to get them, including allies. When allies want to buy them, they have to wait 4 years for a plane, 5 years for a helicopter. We're not letting that happen anymore. We're telling our defense contractors, you're going to start building faster. The United States proved.
And look at these soft devils, man. You know, it was and it had to be the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to put us under captivity under these devils, man. You know, because ain't no way that they can go toe to toe with Jake and win, man. You know, physically and mentally, man. You know, but you know, it goes to show you that you hear what Trump says that he's just being prideful, man. You know, and let him be prideful. You know, who cares, man? You know, I'm so tired of these damn devils being prideful to where it doesn't even faze me no more, man. You know, because when their destruction comes, all they gonna have is a jaw drop, man. You know, they're gonna be at all, man, because they think America is invincible. America can never be destroyed, man. You know, and that's the same mindset that people had back then. You know. And look, man. Shit got destroyed back then, and then look at where we're at today, man. We're in another captivity, man. You know, and this shit is played out. You know, it gets old, man. You know, we're about to finally come up on something new and rejuvenated, man. We're about to get the earth and more, man. We're about to have servants, man. We're not gonna be waking up at 9 to 5s anymore. You know, we're not gonna be having to cater to women on this side, man. You know, we're gonna actually enjoy the earth, man. The earth is gonna be put back in its rightful estate, man. You know, these women aren't gonna be showing cleavage and ass. You know, everywhere you go, man. These women aren't gonna be wearing tights and stuff, you know. You got a whole man, but you're wearing tights outside the house, man. You know, having people look upon, you know, and some of these men, they feel some type of way, but they don't say nothing, man. You know, cause in fear of them losing their wife, man. You know, and these women, they're just what. They're just played out, man. You know, the system has done them has done them so wrong that they think by you trying to protect them and trying to give them advice, they think you're hindering them, man, in some type of way or form, man. The system has polluted their minds, man. You know, so these Babylonian women, they're not really good women, man. They're not really stable or nation built mindset women, man. It's more for themselves, man, and what they can get in at the moment in pleasure, man. You know. So.
You know what's crazy? It genuinely feels like we're at the point now where we're about to fuck around and get cut off, like, globally, right? Like, a lot of countries are gonna start moving away from us, and they aren't gonna fuck with us because of what's going on right now. Like, we're threatening these other countries, like, oh yeah, we're gonna go get Greenland and shit like that. Like, what the fuck is going on, bro? Like, what is happening in these rooms? It's like a fucking echo chamber. Like, where is the voice of reason in these rooms? Like, this shit is getting wild, bro. Like, it's about to start getting dangerous to travel as a fucking American. It was already bad. It's about to get worse now. Like, what? Congress, where the fuck you at? Like, what's good? You know what's crazy?
We're hearing in the last 24 hours, nations have erupted.
And right there, man, most of these damn devils, man, they know what they're doing, man. Don't let them fool you, man. These damn people got common sense, man. They're not retarded at all. You know, yeah, they play retarded. Yeah, they play like they so mental, man. Cause even the average Joe is waking up to their bullshit, man. Even the average Joe have common sense not to fuck with Russia and China, man. and play with their resources, man. You know, once these nations declare war, world war to where, they're attacking the U.S. In a way, dealing with economic or blackouts, it's a wrap, man. These nations, man, they're tired of America, man, being a big ass bully, man. And it's prophecy, but I mean it's played out, man. It's so played out, man, to where it's been going on years to where America just been bullshitting everybody, man. And everybody's just sick and tired of it, man. It comes a time to where the bullies everybody to where everybody, the bully can't take everybody, man. Even the smaller nations got nuclear ICBMs, man. And it gets to the point to where everybody jumps the bully, man. Everybody, the bully who was bullying everybody ends up getting bullied by everybody, man. And it only takes that for this fucking place to realize that, it's over, man. Because when this happens, it's over, man. When all hell breaks loose, and the prophets are not out there no more, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua hides his prophets, man. And these and WW3 is on the horizon, man, and they're taking people to Armageddon, man. It's over, man. And for you damn women, man, that live deliciously in Babylon, man. That wanted to be strong, independent homos, man. Because most of these homos, man, they're not gonna be homos when they trying to drag their ass to Armageddon, man, and put a damn rifle in their hand and say just attack, man. America's a damn joke, man. This place is a damn joke, man. But carrying on.
And World War III warnings are now being issued to Donald Trump in the United States. Take a look at the latest headlines with me. You can see here, China and Russia demand that Trump releases Maduro as World War III fears grow. Russia slams Trump, vows to defend Venezuela as World War III fears erupt. World War III soon. You can see this coming out all over the headlines in the last 24 hours. Kim Jong-un enters the U.S.-Venezuela conflict, issues a stern message to Donald Trump, says, "Leave my friend or else." Trump triggers World War III in U.S.'s backyard. Venezuela FM rallies Latin American nations after Maduro's kidnapping, they say. Now, we are hearing that Donald Trump, he has issued warnings to various nations. Trump issues a threat against multiple countries following Venezuela's strike. And take a look. One of those was Colombia. Come and get me. The Colombian president's war of words with Trump now.
And for this damn dude to say, come get me, words with, oh man, but it's all played out. I thought Trump said that, but I mean, it's all played out, man. These damn devils know that they got a short time, so they got to come with everything that they got, man. They're gonna deceive a lot of people into taking that chip because these people they fear for their lives. They don't want to die, man. They don't want to lose their substance. They don't want to lose their 401ks. They don't want to lose their government assistance here in America, man. When America has just deprived and sucked everybody dry, man. America is a fucking parasite, man. America is a parasite to its people, man. And all people are just rats, man, running in the damn hamster wheel while the rich get richer and the poor gets poorer, man.
Escalates. Cuba also faces an uncertain future after the U.S. topples Venezuelan leader Maduro. And take a look at this. Now, this is really concerning to NATO members. Trump weighs using U.S. military to acquire Greenland. The White House updated 14 minutes ago. And also, take a look at this. Mexico should indeed be concerned. Trump's threat rattles Mexican officials and businesses And we are seeing just moments ago, Trump has announced that I am pleased to announce that the intermittent authorities in Venezuela will be turning over between 30 to 50 million barrels of high qualified sanctioned oil to the United States of America. So, man, there are so many headlines and so many nations that are starting to jump into the mix of what's happening with the United States and Venezuela, and there are World War III warnings left and right. Let me know your thoughts. Are we about to enter into World War III? If you think so, put a WW3 in the comments, as we're hearing that China, Russia, North Korea are responding to what's happening with the Venezuelan president. We're seeing other nations that are being threatened by the United States. There is a lot taking place, and NATO is concerned because that all nations band together when there is an opposing threat against one of the nations. But what if one of the nations is threatening another one of the nations as a part of the NATO alliance? So it is getting very concerning here. They're not really sure what to do. We've never been in this territory before. Now, I have got a ton of video footage and articles that have been coming out in the last 24 hours I'm going to be sharing with you, so that way you can see it for yourself. See the dates, see the sources, and know and rest assured this is the latest. I've hyperlinked all these articles in the description, so you can click them, go read them for yourself if you want to read specifically on what's happening with Colombia, Venezuela, Cuba, Mexico.
In America, man, America isn't the biggest bully on the block no more, man. You know, and they going around harassing nations, man. These other heathen nations, man, and that's basically what they're doing, is harassing them, man. You know, somebody who doesn't want to be bothered with you or deal with you, but you're constantly pursuing, man. You're constantly trying to agitate and provoke, you know, and try to subdue them, man. You know, while they're constantly saying, just get away from me, bro. I just want to be left alone, man. You know, they're just harassing these nations, man. You know, but we already know what time it is, man. And this is Psalm chapter 37. But the Lord laughs at the wicked, for he knows their day is coming, man. And Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai can see the past, the present, and the future, man. He's all knowing, man. So while people think America's not gonna be destroyed, the way that Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai sees it is that he already sees the future, man. He sees the future, man. He sees the future, man, and he sees these damn devils in captivity, man. You know, and he gave us the eye salve, you know, the spirit to see the future, man. And we can see these nations going into captivity. They're not gonna upset or try to persuade prophecy in a way, man. You know, everything that they do is just to forward their future judgment, man. You know, Matthew chapter 24, man. For you should hear, barely paraphrasing, you should hear rumors and uproars of the people, man. You know, you should hear rumors of wars and uproars of the people, man. And aren't we seeing this, man? Isn't Matthew 24 been playing out for a minute? You know, so we're here, man. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is visiting the earth, you know. And I gotta go real quick. So, you know, I hope this video was edifying, you know. But man, we're here, you know. Sooner or later, man, something's gonna have to give. They're gonna have to come with it, you know. So all praises and glory goes to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Yakakodash. That would honors to the elders at GMS who spreading this truth with all truth and sincerity. Shalom.